RBG here. In today's video, I'd like to give you an update on the breeding program for my Otopharynx Lithobates, my yellow blaze Lithobates. It's been a while, so let's talk. So the growths in this tank, there's actually two species. They're mostly Otopharynx Lithobates, but there are some Turkis in here. About 1/3 of them are Turkis. I combine them just simply for space, and they're very close to the same age. There's a Turkis there that I'm following around. They're developing nicely, but the Lithobates are doing really well. There's quite a few of them that are already, displaying something of a blaze on them, and it's really exciting to watch these guys grow. I expected them to be a slow grower, but they seem to be on pace with the other fish that I breed also. So I'm not really sure if they're slower than what's common or not. I haven't grown any out to full size, so that, I guess that really determines really the total length, the total grow out time that it takes. I had expected that it would be for sure a year, 12 months. It may be closer to 8 months. I want to grow them out to a size where they're definitely displaying their full colors, and that makes it easier for people to choose them. I do have some ground up North Fin Fry Starter in there. It's not typically what I feed them anymore because of their size, but I did throw a little bit in there so you can see them zipping around getting it. They are pretty active fish, though. They love it when I walk in the room. They're always hungry, these guys. I try to feed them a minimum of 2 times a day. Sometimes they'll get fed 3 times a day. I do water changes for them minimum once a week. I do know that water changes is key on the growth, grow outs of fish. As I've seen myself, it makes a big difference. So, I intend that when things slow down a little bit for me, if you haven't seen my videos on Let's Build a Fish Room, you'll see why I'm so busy. I built this fish room that these guys are in now, and decided quickly that it wasn't big enough, so I'm building another one, and you can check those videos out. I'll put a link to them in the description. Apparently they've discovered there's food on the top. Let's throw some pellets in and see what they do. This here is some North Fin Krill Gold. It's generally what I feed my grow out fish, so that's what they're getting. They love it. I try to make sure I never feed enough that there's any food sitting on the bottom. To me, that means it means you've fed them too much. So these guys here are my first grow outs. There's 7 of them. They're about 4 months old now, and I think they're growing really well. They're really close to 3 inches, just shy of 3 inches. The larger ones, and So yeah, I think that's maybe on pace or a bit ahead of pace of what I figured. They need about another, I'd say an inch on them, or half an inch anyways, before they're completely colored up. These guys are a bit hard to tell between male and female because the females also have a blaze on them, but not to the extent that the males end up with, obviously. I've had small ones before that I thought for sure were female, and they turn out to be males. So like I say, it's a little bit hard to tell, but I'm really happy with the progress of these guys, and they're doing really well. I suppose you could say that these are my favorite fish, although that's hard to say with the cichlids. I mean, I have so many favorites, but I suppose these might be, they're certainly close to the top of the list. Like usual, these guys are looking at me wondering, am I going to feed them? Am I going to? And yes, I am going to feed these guys. Let's throw a little bit of food in. They eat well. Got to be careful I don't overfeed them because their bellies, they can really pack in the food and their bellies really get extended, which worries me a bit. But it always seems to go down, and it may be the reason that they are growing so well. But again, I do have to be careful. My breeder females are in here. There's one sitting back there. There's one there. They're easy to identify because of the bit of a blaze they have on them and the black spots on them. You know, for a female cichlid, a mouth brooder, they're a pretty decent looking female because they actually have some color on them, and they're easy to identify, which is not always the case. Here we have the breeder male. He's a beautiful specimen, line bred from Germany. That's why he has such a large blaze on him. And another thing that I really like about him is that he has the yellow pectoral and anal fins on him. So he's just a great breeder. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, and as always, have a great day.